today we'll be discussing Reconstruction. Honestly, we could spend an entire semester discussing this topic and still not cover everything. Instead of covering this over 15 weeks, I'll be discussing this for roughly 20 minutes. So this is going to be a very broad overview of the main points of Reconstruction. Then we'll have a quick activity and wrap everything up, hopefully, with a fun video. So let's dive into one of the most chaotic, ambitious, and ultimately disappointing do-overs in American history, Reconstruction. I want you to think of Reconstruction as America's first real attempt at a software update after the Civil War crashed the system. And spoiler alert, it froze halfway through. So it's 1865, the Civil War ends, the Confederacy is toast, slavery is abolished, Lincoln is assassinated, and suddenly the United States has a new existential problem. What do we do now? 4 million formerly enslaved people are free, but what does that freedom mean? The South is physically destroyed, economically devastated, and emotionally still very attached to, let's call it the good old days. The North is victorious, but exhausted and increasingly ambivalent. So the question becomes, how do you rebuild a country when half of it just committed treason and the other half is too tired to carry it? Well, first, President Andrew Johnson, who, fun fact, was the only Southern senator who didn't quit the Union, Johnson takes charge. Unfortunately, Johnson governs like that angry uncle at Thanksgiving. Like, he's full of resentment, he's got bad ideas, and an unshakable belief that he's right. So he offers pardons to ex-Confederates like it's going out of style. And just like that, the old Southern elite is back in charge, writing black codes to keep free people as close to slavery as legally possible. These laws restrict black movement, they restrict black labor and behavior. In Mississippi, for instance, black people could be arrested for not having a job and then leased to employers. It's like slavery with extra paperwork. So Congress, especially the radical Republicans, is like, excuse us, we just fought a war for this. Congress opts not just for reunification with the South, but transformation. Unfortunately, Johnson keeps vetoing their bills. So Congress overrides Johnson's vetoes, impeaches him, he survives removal by just one vote, and Congress essentially takes over Reconstruction. They pass the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments, collectively known as the Reconstruction Amendments. They send federal troops to the South under military Reconstruction to protect black rights and enforce laws. Basically, the South becomes a very unwilling group project partner, and the federal government was hovering over their shoulder with a clipboard. Here's the incredible part. For a brief moment, it works. Black men vote, they run for office, and win. Hiram Revels becomes the first black U.S. senator in 1870 representing Mississippi. We get state legislatures with real racial diversity. 16 black congressional members, over 600 black members of state legislatures, and hundreds more in local offices. Schools for black children are built. The Freedmen's Bureau helps people transition to free life, though it's massively underfunded and constantly under attack. There's hope. There's progress. And then, well, white supremacy doesn't really take vacations. White Southerners respond to Reconstruction like a cat being forced to take the bath. Like, they're aggressive, they're flailing, and it's kind of terrifying. The Ku Klux Klan, seen here looking equally terrifying and ridiculous, they and other groups emerge, not just with silly hoods, but with violent campaigns of terror. They burn schools, they assassinate black leaders, they attack anyone, black or white, who dares support Reconstruction. The federal government fights back for a while. The enforcement acts make Klan activity a federal crime, but momentum, like your New Year's resolutions, starts to fail. By the mid 1870s, support for Reconstruction is collapsing. The Panic of 1873 causes an economic depression. Northerners are more worried about their bank accounts than civil rights. Corruption scandals in President Grant's administration, though not directly involving him, make reform politics look shady. And Northern voters start to see Reconstruction not as justice, but as a burden. Meanwhile, Southern states begin redeeming themselves, code for restoring white democratic control through intimidation, voter suppression, and fraud. Then things start to get really weird. The election of 1876, it's a disputed election between Rutherford B. Hayes and Samuel Tilden. Not only does this election have the highest turnout of eligible voters in history, it also can't decide the winner. There's a recount, then another recount, then filibustering. It's a hot mess. Then they strike a deal, the Compromise of 1877, and Hayes becomes president in exchange for pulling federal troops out of the South. And that's it. Game over. Reconstruction ends in failure. Reconstruction didn't fail because it was a bad idea. It fails because it didn't go far enough, and because white supremacy was more entrenched than anyone wanted to admit. The rights gained were real, but they were rolled back. Jim Crow laws would dominate the South for another century. Black Americans would fight for those same rights again in the 1960s. Some are still fighting today. But for a moment, America glimpsed what a truly multiracial democracy would look like. And now I want to move on to a quick activity to go along with Reconstruction. I have some excerpts from different history books throughout the years. I'm going to hand these out, and I want you guys to spend a few minutes reading the excerpts and writing down some notes. I have the questions at the top of the page. These are excerpts from history books concerning Reconstruction from 1906, 1966, and let's say 2001. So a large range. So you're going to read these, write a few notes for each of the excerpts, and then afterwards we're going to pair up with a partner. I'm sorry.
Oh, you get it?
You have extras? There we go. So yeah, give a quick read of these, write down some notes, and then you're going to pair up with someone and discuss what you guys thought of it, if you guys came up with the same notes. two more minutes, and then we'll start pairing up. Okay, let's go ahead and start finding a partner and discuss between the two of you what you guys thought. If you guys came up with some of the same notes, and what you guys thought of the different passages, and how you saw things changing over time.
But this does seem more separated from
Don't forget, like a lot of we got about 1-2 more
about how to raise the guy with, but he
Alright guys, let's go ahead and start taking our seats. And yeah, so we can see like throughout the different books, there's some differences in how they describe Reconstruction, right? What did you guys all think? First of all, I think we can all agree that first passage was interesting to read by Thomas W. Wilson. Anyone here know who Thomas W. Wilson is?
Woodrow Wilson?
He is Woodrow Wilson. The W is Woodrow. Yeah, so Woodrow Wilson, our future president, wrote this. So that's interesting, right? I think it's interesting to take a look at how the same subject, how the historiography of it changes over the years. Sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse, just looking at different things. I don't know if I'll be able to get sound up for this, but I did have a video that kind of ties this all together. If I can get this to play. Might have it.
So right when I thought Mom would start taking it easy with her
Sorry,
osteoporosis,
yeah.
boom, we moved to this cool new place in the
Probably
city.
gonna wonder why the heck I'm showing this to you, but hopefully you guys all like the Friends thing.
Someone told it was gonna be this way. Your child's a joke, you know, your love life's too late.
It's like you're always stuck in second gear. When it hasn't been your turn, you pick your mind. Even your
I'll be there for you. When it starts to pour, I'll be there for you. Like a man before, then I'll be there for you. 'Cause you're there for me too.
You're still in better time and work. Think I need to. You've burned your breakfast so far. Things are going right. Your mother warned you there'd be days like these. But she didn't tell you when the world has brought you down to your knees.
I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you.
No one could ever know me. No one could ever see me. Seems you're the only one who knows what it's like to be me. Someone to face the day with, make it through all the rest with. Someone I'll always laugh with. Even at my worst, I'm best with It's like you're always stuck in second gear. When it hasn't been your day, your week, your month. I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you. You're there for me too. I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you. You're there for me too.
So why did I show you that video? Because it illustrates exactly what's happened with the historiography of Reconstruction over the years. These singers were all singing the same song, but did they sound alike? No. Were they even using the same genre of music? No. Just like how countless historians can write about can write about Reconstruction and come up with different viewpoints and conclusions. So why does historiography matter? Because how we interpret history shapes how we remember it and how we respond to the challenges of the present. The story of Reconstruction has been erased, distorted, reclaimed, and now actively debated. It's a reminder that history isn't just facts in a textbook, it's a living conversation. And you're part of it now. Thank you. That's the end of my class.